Hi everybody, and I have a question for you. Who is handling your transaction management? Okay, who's your coordinator? Who is that person that is handling all the details while you are out working with new business and building your business? Yeah, let's think about that for a minute, because the thing that I want to talk about today is the crucial area of your business when you are sitting down with a buyer or a seller, and then you go through that entire process of helping them sell that home, helping them buy that home. You know, you're hands-on, you're in there, you've got game. But then when it goes under contract, you know, you kind of get frustrated, overwhelmed. You feel like you're putting too much time into it when you don't need to. Are things getting dropped? Are things not, being handled appropriately? Are you not given the right customer service, etc.? So this is an area of your business that I find agents come to me and tell me, I just am overwhelmed. I don't have time. I don't need to be putting my time into the transaction. The client is very important, don't get me wrong, but you need to make sure that you are giving them your best. And sometimes by giving them your best is because you have people surrounded by you. You are surrounded by people that are giving their best on your behalf. So this is where we come in and make the agent shine. We go in, take the contract. From the moment you get that contract, we're taking it all the way to the closing table. We are the point person for every client that you have, buyer or seller. So when you are working with these clients, you want to make sure that this particular area is over the moon, over the top customer service, because this is really the last phase of how they work with you, the relationship that they have with you when it comes to buying or selling their home. So what I want to do is kind of give you some ideas of maybe if you need help and you're not sure how to find it, then these are going to be tips of how we would help you. But also, if you are going to do it yourself, or if you have an on-site or a transaction department in your company, these are the things that you need to be making sure that are getting handled, so that when you close that property, that client is just raving about you. They're telling their friends, they're telling their coworkers, their family members, their neighbors, how wonderful you were from the moment you met them and talked to them about buying or selling to the day of closing and thereafter, okay? Because when you close on that property, the next thing you should be doing is sending them an email, asking them to give you a review or a testimonial that you can use on social media, in your direct marketing, on your website, in your presentations, etc. So this is a very crucial time to really wow them with what you have to offer, okay? So when you have a contract, the first thing that you need to do is make sure it's in compliance. Make sure that everybody has signed the dotted line, the numbers are correct, everything is perfect. And then once that's done, then you should be sending them a intro email. In that email, it's telling them, congratulations, thank you for choosing me. We are now starting the transaction process. Here are some crucial dates that you need to remember. Then you want to reach out to the other agent, talk to them about what's going on, what their responsibility is, making sure the title company knows, the mortgage company, all the home inspector, whoever is involved in this transaction. You need to be making that connection with them so that they all know how to reach you, what your expectations are, and if they have any problems, how they can reach out to you. Now, as a transaction coordinator, that's what she would do for you, is she would send out those emails. She would make those phone calls, introduce herself to your client, and go on and get all the necessary things and help your client go through that process so they understand what the next step is or what the next phase is. Because sometimes they may not know. If this is a first-time home buyer, they're not going to know. So you want to make sure that they're being held, their hands are being held as you go through this with them. Doesn't mean that you have to do it, because when you go into your listing appointment or your buyer appointment, when you first meet them, kind of backtracking there, you're going to be talking to them about your team and how your team works together. And so at that point of meeting that new client, you're going to be telling them, now when we go under contract, Kim Hughes is going to be your transaction coordinator. or whoever that may be. And then that way, as you are working with them, you're still talking about when we go under contract, Kim is your point of contact, etc. So that when that contract does when that contract does get accepted and now it's executed and we're ready to go, then when I make that phone call or I send that email, they're already going to know who I am. And they're going to be very comfortable in talking to me, sharing information with me, etc. So these are the things that you need to remember. And then while you're working on that transaction, I also want you to have a drip campaign that goes out once a week to that client based on if they were a buyer or a seller, and giving them tips on what they should be doing now. Now you should be packing up your home. Now you should be moving, contacting your utility companies and moving everything over. You need to call your satellite company. You need to, turn off the electricity on such and such day. All of these little bitty details, they don't know. And they expect you to kind of help them. But they don't know to ask you that. Or if they do, maybe they think, oh, well, she's not supposed to help me with that. But this is an area where you could just really shine in making sure that your client has an email telling them, here's what you should be doing now. And then if they have a problem with that or they have a question with that, they can reach out to your transaction coordinator or you and get that information of what they need to do, get more details. But at least you're prompting them, right? So and then when the contract closes, you want to make sure that you do your due diligence. Whatever that thank you is, if you send a gift, a card, whatever. And then you also should be sending a thank you to the title company, to the other agent for such a smooth transaction, to the mortgage lender, to the home inspector, because these are people that were all involved in the transaction. And when you show your appreciation, it comes back to you. Don't you like it when somebody says, great job, you did a great job doing that? Makes you feel really good. So make sure that the people that are surrounding you know how much you appreciate them. And when you do that, they're going to want to do better for you. That's just human nature, right? Positive thinking, putting positive out in the world. So then once you've closed on that contract, I want to make sure that you have a very strong past client campaign. I have videos on this. I will link those videos below for you to refer to. But just a real quick tip is when you close, you should know exactly what you do. Thank you, gift, dinner, what are you doing? And then what are you doing to put them, to keep in touch with them going forward, okay? Because you don't want to lose touch with them, because you want them to come back to you for your real estate needs. You want them to send your friends, their family, their coworkers, their neighbors, their teachers, whatever that may be. So those are some tips that will help you in the transaction. But just remember that when you go under contract, this is a crucial time for you to make that client connection really stand out and give them over the moon service that really is not going to be that hard for you to do. Once you have it in a system in place, the person that's handling it for you, and then you can move on with what you need to do, knowing that your transaction coordinator can help you. So if you have any questions on this area of your business and you think that you might need a transaction coordinator, we are more than happy to help you. We have over probably a combined 150 years of experience. People on my team have been with my company for at least 10 years, 5 years. So these are not transaction coordinators that kind of just go in and out the door. They come to the team, they work for the team, they're dedicated, they work great with my clients. You can check our testimonials, check my reviews on Facebook, etc. We do have a huge reputation by being very efficient with our transactions. So if you have any questions, we're more than happy to answer them. 20-minute consultation, complimentary. So shoot me an email to kim@kimhughes.com. Visit my website, kimhughes.com. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have any comments or any questions or need help in other areas, make sure you comment below. I'm happy to address anything you need. And then if you want to subscribe, there's a little red button down there that you can hit. And when I come out with new videos, you will be the first to know. Well, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you walk away with some great tips to implement into your transactions. And we will see you next time. Bye.